everybody. Welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, narrated by Disney, or current Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it. Legends. Today for you, I only have 3 things today, before we head back to Jedi Quest, which is Star Wars Visionaries, Eye of Revolution, Jedi Starfighter Crossbones 3-issue series, and Star Wars Tales number 12. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Timeline's all sort of crazy. You have Matt Wilkins, who places the Crossbones story, and the Visionary story, and the Star Wars Tales after this. I saw another timeline, like on the internet, not like a YouTube series, just like a picture of all the timeline stuff, PDF, that had Crossbones, like, after the 3rd book in the Jedi Quest series. So there's a whole bunch of stuff where I'm not exactly sure where I should put it. However, I figured there's a big enough event that happened, in the last book of Jedi Quest, without getting into spoilers, book 6, that I figured maybe a little break from the Jedi Quest series give time for us to deal with the book itself, and for the characters to deal with the previous story. So I figured just a nice little break from that would be appropriate. So starting with Star Wars Visionaries, Eyes of Revolution. This is the final story in the Visionaries collection. And this is basically the origin story for Grievous. It's very short. There's not a lot to it, but the art is kind of photorealistic. I don't know exactly how to describe the art, but I like it. It gives me kind of like this eerie feeling with how it is. But we see what Grievous looked like before being put into the armor. We see him get blown up by the bad guys, of course, by Sidious and everyone. It wasn't by Sidious, actually, but the plan was to use him as an experiment, see if he could survive. Sidious even says this technology could be useful in the future to the dark side, which it would be, because, of course, one of the things with the prequels is that every villain was kind of a precursor that combined would become Darth Vader. Dooku's more of the elegance that Vader, there's a lot of just pure rage and power that he had, but he could also be quite a more smarter opponent. Anakin got a bit smarter with age. Or the rage that Vader could have, which was Darth Maul. And then the machine man that Vader was, Grievous, all little, each one a part of what the full, ultimate, cool bad guy would be, Darth Vader. But overall, I really enjoyed the little comic. I enjoyed the story. I mean, there's not much to it, but it's cool to have an origin story for Grievous. And I think if you like Grievous, it's worth your time. Then we get to Jedi Starfighter. I didn't write any notes down for this. The Starfighter Crossbones by Hayden Blackman. This follows Nim, a character from the video game Star Wars Starfighter, which focuses a little bit before Episode 1 and then during Episode 1, which is with the characters that it follows. He also had I think he had a Star Wars tale a bit earlier too, I forget. But Nim's a fun character. There's nothing here that really advances, like, the Star Wars Expanded Universe in any way, really. I mean, we just get Nim on a fun adventure stopping a pirate. And it's fun. I don't really know what to say. I mean, the art is fine. I like seeing the Trade Federation, before the Clone Wars. It's always interesting with that, I guess. But yeah, overall, it's a decent story. It's fun. I'll say that much. It's a fun story. There's nothing particularly to it, though, like, it's not like this emotional story or anything. But if you like Nim, you'll enjoy this 3-issue series, but it's very skippable. You definitely don't need this comic book series. I mean, I guess all 3 of these are skippable, but I do recommend the Grievous origin story. Because of how big of a player he is during the Clone Wars. And of course, being featured in episode 3, I think it's worth your time to check out that one. But of course, this is hit or miss. If you enjoy the video game and Jedi Starfighter, then you should check out this comic series. Lastly, we have Star Wars Tales number 12, Jedi's Weapon. Anakin gets distracted by a bunch of pretty ladies and loses his lightsaber. And goes on a little small adventure to get his lightsaber back, only to find out that his master stole the lightsaber back from the person who stole it from him to teach him a lesson. And that's it. It's fine. I mean, the art is fine. The story isn't, like, bad. It's not memorable. And it seems a bit redundant, since the same lesson... I mean, I guess that's the point in episode 2, is that, you know, Obi-Wan keeps, like, re-going over and over and over all this stuff again and again. But he says in episode 2, this is your life, don't lose it. And then he, of course, loses it. And then, you know, Anakin goes, Obi-Wan's gonna kill me. And then we kind of have a story that's, like, the same... I mean, they're not going on the same grand adventure, but it's the same, like, thing, I guess? I don't know, it just felt kind of pointless. Like, why? Why does this exist? I mean, that's most of Star Wars Tales, right? Why? Why is this a thing? It's not good. But, yeah, that's about it. A pretty short video. Didn't have too much to say here. But, I mean, it was well worth it just for the Star Wars Visionaries. And if I'm wrong about the timeline, well... I'm going through the expanded universe in chronological order as best I know how, and since I am my own person, I guess my timeline will be slightly different from everyone else's, especially when we get to Clone Wars. That's going to be an interesting one, because I guarantee you mine is going to be slightly different from a lot of other people. We'll see how that goes, though. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time where we finally finish all of Jedi Quest with books 7 to 10. Until then, may the Force be with you.